Hi there. Today I thought I would read a little short story called Legend of the Night Unicorn, which is all about Martha, who was excited to go on a trip in a steam train up a mountain. She finds out from an old man that she meets on the train how it got its name. And legend is that there's a unicorn who lives on the mountain. Why unicorn here? After Martha arrives at the top of the mountain, she has one question, really burning question, and all she wants to know is whether the legend is true. This is the beautiful front cover of Legend of the Night Unicorn. Next to a river, amongst delicious green grass and purple heather, lived a pony. Her home was a cave made from sparkling silver rocks. To her it seemed as if she lived on the edge of the world. She could see for miles in almost any direction. The countryside, far away from her mountain cave, looked small below. The pony's coat was as dark as soot, darker even, yet she sparkled and gleamed like the rocks beside her. This was no ordinary pony. Her mane and tail were silver. They were alight with the magic of all the stars from the heavens. If you were ever to see her, you would think she was beautiful, but ordinary, except for the one thing which gave away her magic. Horn. She was a unicorn. When she trotted amongst the green grass and the purple heather, her heart filled with happiness. In these moments of joy, she would lift her glorious tail high in the air, leaving a shower of starlight in her wake. To see her, to even catch a glimpse of her at all, was an impossible thing. Although it is said that one young girl did see her, and it is said that this girl told the tale of the night unicorn until it became a legend, a story that was passed along to those young and old alike, special enough to believe that this world is a magical place where wonderful creatures like unicorns might live, and a place where magic is real. This is the tale that you're about to read. But first, I need to ask you, do you believe in unicorns? With the sun high in the sky, the night unicorn slept the day away, unaware of an excited girl preparing. Curled up on a bed of hay, she was not aware of the busyness of the world around her. She did not know of a little girl coming up her mountain that very day. Little picture here, I don't know whether you can see, of a steam train. The day was as bright as a golden cornfield. It was going to be a hot one. Are we going on the train today, Mum? Martha asked excitedly. Martha and her family, the Jameses, were going on a special trip, a ride on the train into the mountains. Martha was very excited. Yes, it is, Martha. Have you got your coat, though, in case it's rainy? Mum asked her. It's not going to rain, Mum. Look outside. It's a beautiful day. Look how the sun is shining, Martha replied. Well, take your coat anyway. The weather can be very cold and windy in the mountains, Mum said. Fussing as usual, she finished packing up a delicious-looking picnic for them. Martha jumped from foot to foot. Couldn't wait to get going. What an adventure! At last, with the picnic prepared, the Jameses drove to the train station, which was over 2 hours' drive away. Martha didn't normally mind a long journey in Dad's car, but today it seemed endless. Martha scrambled out of the door and jumped up and down excitedly when they at last arrived. Even from the car park they could hear the big old engine steam train chuffing. Every pop it seemed to urge them on. "It's very noisy, Mum. Oh, and it smells too," Martha said, covering her nose in disgust. The smell of the steam had drifted across even before they could see the train. Over on the other side of the car park, they at last caught a peek of it. "Look, Martha, it's a real steam engine," Dad said, smiling. Martha gave his hand a squeeze. Martha's mum and dad had brought along tickets with them, so there was no need to queue at the ticket desk. It wasn't long before the Jameses got settled into the comfy red seats aboard the NightUnicorn train. Martha sat by the window, Dad next to her, and Mum opposite. Inside, the wooden floor smelt of fresh polish, and Martha felt the tingle of anticipation. All the passengers finished boarding. The conductor closed the doors with a soft thump. Pulling slowly out of the station, the train chuffed forwards, and the whistle squeaked loudly. "May I read this, please, Dad?" Martha was pointing at an interesting-looking leaflet on the table in front of her. "Of course you can," said Dad. "It's all about the history of the engine." He smiled knowingly. Martha began to read the information in the glossy pages. "Mum, it says here the train engine is over 200 years old. Is that older than the dinosaurs?" she asked, and they all laughed. Martha's eyes flickered with a thought. 200 years old. The train climbed its way higher and higher up into the mountains. Martha looked out of the window longingly at the heather and the rocks. Beautiful heather there. That seemed to sparkle and wink at her. "Do you happen to know the legend of the NightUnicorn?" a deep voice asked her. Martha looked up in surprise to find the voice had come from a kind-looking old man who was sitting in the seat behind her. She hadn't noticed him before. "You mean the engine?" Martha asked him. "No, I mean the unicorn. The real one. That's how the train got its name, you know, because of the unicorn that lives at the top of the mountain." "Really? That's how the train got its name?" Martha asked questioningly, pulling a face as if she didn't quite believe him. She watched the puffs of steam rolling away down the mountain, and heard the clang of the train on the tracks as it continued to chuff and snake up the steep incline. "Yes, but the legend of the unicorn is much older than the train, and if I might be so bold, it's even more amazing," the old man told her. "Wow," Martha said half-heartedly, not convinced. "Would you like to hear the tale? It might help to pass the time," he asked. "Does it really have a unicorn in it?" she said. The man shuffled in his seat and nodded. Daddy leant forward, looked around to see if anyone was listening, whispered, "Not just any unicorn, a night unicorn." Martha sat up straight in her seat and gave the man all her attention. Her heart was beating fast with anticipation. Listening to the story would pass the time, and just maybe it might be a good one. Taking a deep breath, the man began. "There was a girl not much older than you are now. She lived in the time before the train was even built. She was excellent at climbing, and especially liked the purple heather at the top. The trek up the mountain, the same mountain we're riding up today, would take her a long time, but it was always worth it. The girl would bring back heather for her mum. It has many amazing uses." As Martha went further and further up the mountain, gazed out of the window, letting his words drift over her, she thought she saw something. No, it can't be, she muttered. Riding in comfort, she listened carefully as the old man continued. The girl, in search of the best heather to bring back, climbed higher than she had ever gone before, so high even the goats and sheep did not dare to wander. The rocks got bigger and looser, and the mountain steep and dangerous. Clambering over loose rocks and shale, the girl pushed on, further and higher, searching for the best heather. She had no idea of the danger she was in until she slipped. She fell? Martha asked worriedly, her mouth falling open. Don't worry, we're just getting to the good part. Keep listening to the story, young Martha. You'll find out what happened next, he told her. Wait, how do you know my name? She asked. Instead of answering, the man went on with the story. His dark eyes were as mysterious as the tale he was telling. The girl had been climbing all day and it was getting late. The night's dark blanket was fast approaching. When she slipped on the loose rock, she fell and hit her head. The gasped. Then a darkness came over her. A little while later she sleepily began to open her eyes. Gently touching her head to see if she was cut, she felt a soft lump that hurt to touch. She quickly patted herself down on her arms and her legs. Nowhere else was hurting. Thank goodness, she thought. The ground didn't feel cold or hard underneath her, though. Instead, she lay in a soft bed that smelt of the outdoors. Blinking, she looked at her surroundings carefully. She was lying on a bed of hay. Turning her sore head more slowly, she realized she was inside a cave. How did I get here? She wondered. It wasn't dark inside the cave, though, and she didn't feel afraid. Instead, it glowed with a kind of silver light that reminded her of the stars. She got out of her bed quietly and went to the large entrance of the cave. She knew it had been getting late before she arrived, but night had not yet come. Hiding behind a sliver of rock, she peeked outside to see what was happening. Then she heard a noise. She was scared. The man paused for a drink of water. Don't stop now, Martha exclaimed. Everyone on the train looked around. Sorry, she said quietly. Martha was amazed at how brave the young girl was. She couldn't wait to find out what had happened to her. Like the girl in the story, the train was pushing higher and higher up the mountain. In the distance, Martha saw something out of the window. Rocks that were shining like diamonds. A cave? Is that a cave? She asked the man. Is that the cave from the story? Oh, I couldn't say for sure. Might be, Martha. Might be. He smiled and picked up the tale where he'd left off. The girl heard the noise again. It sounded like rain. She peeked outside. That's when she saw the most beautiful thing standing there that she had ever seen in her life. The unicorn. Jet black hair and a mane and tail woven from silver stardust, the sight of the unicorn took her breath away. Its horn, which sat proudly on the top of its head, glowed with magical power, and the unicorn turned and saw her. Instead of being afraid, the girl felt a warmth flow all around her. The unicorn trotted elegantly towards her and nuzzled up to her hand. First it bent its knee, then it bowed gracefully. It stooped low and swung its head, telling the girl to get on its back. Once safely aboard, the girl held on to the mane tightly, and the unicorn, who was sure of its feet, led her down the mountain to safety. So comfortable and safe was she, the girl felt as if she was floating down the mountain. As they rode, She could see all kinds of animals coming out from their homes in the undergrowth to say hello. She felt as if she could just reach out and touch them. All too soon it was time for the unicorn to stop. Once more it bent low, this time so that the girl could dismount. "Thank you for saving my life," the girl said, as she stroked its glossy coat. "Where did you come from, though, and who are you? What is your name?" The girl had so many questions, but of course the unicorn could not reply. Instead, it simply whispered. The girl waved and started to walk back home. She turned once more to see the magical pony, and pinched herself to see if she was dreaming. As she turned to look, the unicorn stooped her head low again, tilting her horn towards the ground. As it came nearer and nearer to the ground, her horn began to glow brightly and hum. The girl felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand up as the horn touched the air. In a flash, the sky turned grey. The unicorn's horn disappeared, shooting upwards into the sky with a brilliant ball of light. The night sky appeared, glittering and raining with stars from the unicorn's horn. The unicorn had brought the night. At first the girl just stood there with her mouth open in disbelief. Then she exclaimed, "Night unicorn, that's what I'll call you. Goodbye, and thank you again." The night unicorn neighed and cantered off into the distance, leaving a trail of shimmering stardust behind her. The girl couldn't help wondering what would happen now to the night unicorn's horn. Was she even still a unicorn, she wondered. The very next night, the brave girl slipped out of her bed and began to climb the mountain once more. She had to see the unicorn again. It was even more dangerous to climb at night. She didn't dare to go as high. After all, she still had a lump on her head to remind her how dangerous it could be. Reaching the night unicorn's cave would be impossible, but still she climbed, hoping that maybe, just maybe, she would see her. Then she heard the familiar sound of hoof-falls. The night unicorn had come to see her. Seeing the girl, the unicorn lifted its front feet high into the air majestically. What a wonderful sight! The unicorn's horn was pointing to the sky in all its shimmering beauty. That is the legend of the night unicorn, and some say that is how this wonderful old engine got its name," said the old man. Martha sat open-mouthed. "What a wonderful tale! But it couldn't be true, could it?" she asked. "Unicorns aren't really real, are they?" She closed the leaflet that she'd still held open in her hand, looked up to see that the man had gone. Martha got out of her seat, up and down the carriageway. There was no sign of him anywhere. Martha began to wonder if she'd imagined it all. The sound of the train's whistle broke into her thoughts. It was nearing its final stop, the station at the top of the mountain. She could hear her stomach rumbling. "That's good," Martha thought. "I'm getting hungry." The Jameses were going to find a lovely spot to eat their picnic. Once more, Martha glanced out of the window. The sun was still shining brightly, but she could have sworn she saw stardust sprinkled on the mountain, just like hundreds and thousands on the top of the cake. She could hear the faintest sound of neighing in the distance. Just then she felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand up to attention. Turning quickly, Martha whipped her head round to try and see where the noise was coming from. Cramming her head to the window, she sighed in frustration. She could not see from inside the carriage. With a loud hiss, the train smoothed to a halt. Martha sprang up from her seat and grabbed her bag. "Come on, Mum!" she exclaimed, tugging at her hand. Martha practically pulled her mum and dad from their seats, for it to make them move faster. To find out, was that a unicorn, she said. With Martha pulling them, the Jameses departed the station. Following the other passengers out, they took a small gravel path which led to the mountain top. Quickly the path split into two. The right one led to the picnic area, and the left one to a guided walk. But no longer hungry, Martha pleaded with her parents to stretch her legs. "Please, let's go for a quick walk," Martha asked, pointing at the path. "We've been on the train for ages." "Whatever has got into you today?" Mum asked, surprised at her daughter's sudden enthusiasm for walking overeating. The other passengers split off and headed to the picnic area, eager to eat. But the Jameses peeled off on the other path and began their walk. It seemed to Martha they'd been walking for ages. On and on they trudged. No sight or sound of the unicorn anywhere. Her shoulders slumped, and she began to wonder if she would ever see her. "Oh, look, there's a bench," Dad said happily. "Let's have a rest." Martha's mum and Dad sat down with a thump. "Aren't you going to sit down too, Martha?" Mum asked. "Can I just explore a little more, please? I promise to stay close." Martha's mum looked across at her dad, who nodded. "Just a few minutes, Hen, okay? It's starting to get dark and we still need to eat. Don't forget we have to get back on the train too. I don't want to be stuck up here." "Yes, Mum," said Dad, Martha replied. Martha was intrigued by a patch of beautiful heather she spotted underneath some trees. Pulling her coat and scarf on tightly, she had to agree with Mum. It was colder than she'd expected here at the top. There was something more in the air than a chill, though. As she began to investigate, she felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand up once again. Martha turned to give her Mum and Dad a wave and see if they were looking, but saw they were both busy chatting away with each other. At last, in the distance, Martha caught a glimpse of something. A jet black, glossy coat which looked almost wet with sparkles. Just the sight of it filled Martha's heart with joy when she saw the unicorn lift her front legs in a majestic rear, as if showing off its horn in all its beauty. For a moment, the unicorn seemed to look Martha's way. She felt as if the only sound was that of her own heartbeat thumping in her chest. Time seemed to stand still. Catching her eye, Martha was overcome with a sense of peace. Then the moment was broken. The unicorn neighed and trotted elegantly away. It seemed to Martha that this glorious creature held a sky full of stars within its mane and tail, dabbing at her eyes which were wet with tears. Martha wasn't sad. Instead, she felt blessed and incredibly happy. She now knew unicorns were truly real. From that moment on, she would always believe in magic. The end. Thank you so much for listening to my story, Martha's Adventure. You can get this book on Amazon if you'd like to read it for yourself. And there's some of the little bits in the book as well. It is only a very thin book because it's a short story. But I hope you like my legend. Thank you for listening. Bye.